Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday and happy 2018. I'm joined here by the Apprenace team, and as always, I'm your host, Travis Herring. We're coming to you live from the Speakeasy downtown in the DK New Media studio. And why don't you all introduce yourselves? Of course, we've got the Apprenace team. 2018, we're gonna start off by interviewing all of the members that are doing some incredible things and looking forward to this next year and kicking it off right. So why don't you go ahead, Paul?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Paul Waltz. I'm the program director at Apprenace. My role is basically overseeing day-to-day operations for the program, mentoring our interns, and then working directly with our clients.
So I'm Chris the Brain, founder of Apprenace, CEO and chief mentor.
I am Kate Carr, and I am the community liaison for Apprenace.
Yeah. So like I said, really what the Speakeasy wants to do is share all of the stories of many of our members. And we wanted to start off with Apprenace because 2017 has been an amazing year. You guys have tripled in size. You're very engaged with all of the programs with the Speakeasy, 1 million cups and everything like that. So first off, for everyone that's watching today, I want you to explain, Chris, if you want to explain what Apprenace is and what you guys do, what's your mission?
So in its simplest form, Apprenace designs and manages internship programs for other companies, both in a traditional sense, but also as kind of a teen growth, early onboarding program. We have more than that, but that's the shortest version for now.
Yeah.
To get started.
Yeah, and then if you want to just tell me a little bit about how people work with you. What kind of what is the day-to-day and what you guys do for other companies?
Yeah, so a good jumping off point for there might be how we actually work with our individual clients. So it kind of falls into three categories in terms of how people can actually get started with an internship through Apprenace. So the most predominant one that we see a lot of is the classic summer internship program. A lot of times we'll have companies come to us and they've either interviewed or already hired an intern, and they're kind of in a position of how do we get the most out of this summer internship. So Chris, you were talking about this thought of using interns to basically bring new ideas into a company.
Yeah, so a lot of times the summer internships can go really bad really fast. A person can spend their entire summer getting coffee, walking dogs, whatever. Our goal is to make sure that summer internships are intentional and that they are a well-designed program where the intern is really getting a career-building experience out of it, but also that the businesses are benefiting from it. A summer internship is a short period of time. The best things for business to try to get out of it usually is to kind of vet students that are near to graduation, maybe get some project work done that you couldn't get done otherwise during the year that it helps get a little extra help with. But the other really good use for a summer intern is to get feedback into the company. Jack Welch kind of made popular the idea of getting yourself a 14-year-old mentor. And of course, we're not always working with 14-year-olds, working with college age and all that, but it still helps to put a process in place for someone to come in and help bring some new ideas, give you a fresh perspective on your company that can breathe kind of new life into your business. So a lot of people call us because they get talked into a summer internship and then they're like, help, I have no idea what I'm doing. The other place we interface with companies is with a more intentional, ongoing year-round, what we call teen growth strategy, where you have a process in place to always have a team of interns cycling through. So this is really beneficial for companies that are hiring 2 or more employees a year. And we found it's more effective to hire people that you can get in your company, get to know, work with them a bit. If they don't work out, you don't have to fire them. The internship ends. Everyone had a good experience. The intern gets experience. But the ones that work out really well, you can make another offer to, bring up a level so we can go from being an intern to being an apprentice. And it's really just the most effective way to build a strong internal culture and a stable team that can work well together. And then the other way we interface with businesses is we have a guild program. These are interns that we have in Apprenace directly. And they're normally training up in fields more related to the tech world, so software development, web development, marketing. And what we like to do is work with small businesses or nonprofits who can't afford to have this kind of help full time, to pair them up and say, hey, you can pay a very reasonable hourly rate for the industry, save some money, and give someone who's trying to either grow their career or switch careers a chance to get paid to learn, basically. And it's kind of a win-win for everyone. So those are the three ways we interface with people. Now so those are the three kind of products or deliverables, you'd say, or services. Paul, I would talk more about kind of what it's like working with us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so there's kind of two perspectives, right? Our two primary customers, and we call them customers, are first and foremost the interns that work with the program, right? They get just as much value out of any of the companies that we work with. So the experience from the intern side is really they have Apprenace alongside them from the perspective of helping to mentor them through the course of their internship, being there constantly to help give someone for them to basically ask questions of. So what that looks like is at least one day a week, we ask that any intern that's placed with an Apprenace client comes and works with us from one of the speakeasy locations, and during that day we check in, see how they're doing. We have one-on-one mentoring sessions with them just to see how they're progressing. But then anytime during the week, they can reach out to our team through Slack, phone, email, come work with us from one of the locations. And so they really have constant ongoing support. Then from the company's side, and what it's like for a company to work with Apprenace, is they get a partner alongside them through the course of their internship that they can rely on for, having tough conversations if they need to be had. Actually relying on Apprenace as a source of that new talent, because as part of a program, we will actually go and find, vet, interview, and bring them the best potential candidates for that internship program. And they can rely on us to basically help give input and recommendations for how they can improve their company culture and their kind of culture of learning over time.
Nice. Yeah, I absolutely love seeing all of the growth that you guys have done and the energy that you guys bring to the space. I myself see you. Is it Fridays that you guys do a podcast over in the Speakeasy? I know you wanted to do one today, but whenever I see you guys in the space, I see the interns, I see the mentors, and it's been amazing to see you guys grow over the last year. I know you guys are very present in all of the Speakeasy locations, and you're very involved with 1 Million Cups, but tell me a little bit about what 2017 has looked like for you guys. It sounds like you guys have hit a lot of great milestones.
It was a good year.
Yeah.
It was a huge year of growth. I mean, so, quick history of the Apprentice program as a whole. It really did a soft launch in 2015. That was when we started with just a small handful of companies, started getting our processes really locked in, tested, make sure they were effective, make sure that the companies and interns were getting value. 2016, we saw the program grow almost exclusively through word of mouth. We spent no marketing dollars in 2016. And by the time we rolled into 2017, we had enough people coming back and requesting this program that we're like, we really have something here. So 2017 really marked the start of officially, kind of going all out, taking these processes we had built and turning it into a product and getting more involved in the community. And of course, the Speakeasy has been a big part of that. So during the last year, 2017, we had a total of 22 people that we placed with companies that are Apprentice clients. And many of those interns then came out of their internship placement into full-time jobs during that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
I think we're at like 95% placement. Something like that.
Yeah. It's pretty high. Yeah.
So it took us a while when I started the concept back in 2015 to feel good about it. Frankly, interns have been abused a lot in Indiana, or intern labor. And I know it's not just Indiana, it's everywhere, but I felt nervous starting the program. I think I really wanted to see that the interns themselves felt like it was better than their past intern experiences and that they valued it. And then I wanted to see if the businesses also felt like they got additional value. One of the biggest places we bring companies added value is that our intern programs are run off a curriculum. So there's a structured plan in place when people start an internship. And I don't want to get too fancy. We're not like writing textbooks over here. But because but what we do have is a structure in place. So when an intern starts, they kick off with being handed this document that kind of says, here's what your intern's about, here's what you can expect, here's what we're expecting from you. We normally have in it about a 4 to 6 week kind of project plan to get them onboarded. And that kind of structure makes it really easy for companies to say yes to interns because they know it's not going to be a burden so much on them to always figure out what the intern's going to do.
Yep. There's never that moment that we see all the time where 4 to 5 weeks into an internship, the supervisors look around and they're like, hey, does anyone have anything for the intern to do?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't happen because you have a guidebook where you can go back and say, here's the next step for this job role for this internship.
Yeah, and we've gotten a few companies, they get, you can almost say literally addicted because it's really great to get young, passionate people in on a regular basis, getting new ideas. And the biggest challenge with young people is that while it's kind of backwards to what people think. So a lot of people think if I hire a young programmer, I got to teach them programming. And that's not true. You find a good young programmer, they'll teach themselves. You just got to make sure you get the right person for the job. What they need help more with being taught is life skills, personal management, communication skills, conflict resolution, all those different things. That's more what young people need more of the mentoring and the structure for. But you fit people with where their potential's at, and they'll learn quickly.
Yeah. Well, and that's where Apprentice, differentiates from many programs is we do not ever have a classroom-based setup. There is rarely a time where we need to get a group of people learning the exact same thing. Our program is very one-on-one, very individualized, where every single person's needs are going to be just a little bit different. And what they really need is someone to come in, sit down with them, find out where they're at, and find out what the next step would be for them personally.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys have hit an enormous spark or something that needed to be filled in the community with the internship programs. But with that, I know that you guys have made the model to be as versatile as possible to fit many different industries. So, in 2017, you guys had, tell me a little bit about what, industries and what types of companies you were working with, and then what does 2018 and beyond look like?
Absolutely, yeah. It's always a little bit of a lame answer to go, we can work with everybody, but we say it because it's true.
Yeah.
And this comes from, once again, vetting the processes over the last several years, is we found that the way we've built the process and the plans is very much what I call job role and industry agnostic. It doesn't matter if you're a software company, a marketing agency, a water quality testing company, an HR company. This process can work for you because, like you mentioned with the curriculums, they are very individualized to a job role, to a company, and they all kind of tie together that way. So we can work with anyone. But, in terms of our own experience, at least for the first couple of years, a lot of the placements have been web development, software development, marketing related, whether it be videography or content production or digital, just simply because that's our background. And so kind of naturally we found ourselves in positions where we can bring value there. But we work with all types of companies,
It's really growing. One of the places we really want to branch out into next are going to be things like manufacturing.
Yep.
And kind of trade skill work where actually the idea of having apprenticeships is very old. It's just a lot of people, again, what people struggle with is more just the human aspect. And that's really what the expertise we're trying to bring to the table is that dealing with young people or just people who are kind of young in their careers can be a much more positive experience than what I think people are used to. Sometimes they just kind of need that coaching to know how to deal with a lot of those initial awkwardnesses and things that come from, as you bring new people on.
Well, and ultimately, the thing that has surprised me in a lot of ways is it can be a productive experience too. It is not purely, oh yes, I have an intern, they're learning. You can also get pretty incredibly productive work very quickly from someone given the right environment, the right structure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, so Kate, I want you to jump in. And honestly, if there's anything else that you guys want to put out on the table for Facebook Live today, go ahead and say it. But Kate, I want to ask you, how do interns, how do clients reach out to you guys? What's next step for anyone that's just now learning about you guys? How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, of course. So we know two things here in Indianapolis, and it's that people are having trouble finding qualified talent, and qualified talent is having trouble finding opportunity. And so we are really here to bridge that gap. If you or your company is having trouble finding qualified talent for the various amounts of roles that we mentioned here today, or growing your team, then get in touch, and we would love to talk and see how we could help you.
Yeah, and in the world of all things getting in touch, just remember our name is it's Apprentice plus ACE. So Apprentice, yeah, right there. APPRENACE.
Yep.
So it sounds like when you lazily say apprentice,
Yeah.
but
Or you can shoot me an email at kait@apprenace.com. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Kate at Apprenace.com. Of course, if you're anyone out there just trying to kind of understand if you can build an amazing team with Apprenace, definitely reach out to Kate.
And we want to encourage people, if they're skeptical, if they're kind of struggling to understand, your first step doesn't have to be doing business with us. We're very happy to entertain you to come and actually visit us during one of our mentoring days, see how we work with our interns. We've had a few people do that now. It's been a good experience for everyone. And like I said, the bottom line is Indiana keeps talking about how it has a workforce shortage. We got plenty of talent. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course the Speakeasy is always open to anyone that wants to come in and check these guys out. If you're ever interested, reach out to info@speakeasyindy.com. Make the introduction that way as well. But is anything else for you guys that you want to throw out there? Personal information. Wow.
I have so much personal information.
Personal information. How do
I
people
think we're
reach out
good.
to each and every one of you? Is what I'm trying.
I'm trying to be careful of
across.
that personal information.
Yeah, I know, right?
Since it's a
What
live
am I doing?
podcast.
But how do people reach out to each and every one of you?
Yep. So I think all of us are on Twitter and Instagram. We're constantly tagged through the Apprentice channel. So if you go to the Apprentice, I think we're just at Apprentice on basically everything.
Yeah.
You can find us through there.
Yep.
All right.
Like every other clever marketing strategy, we made up our own words so that we could own the domains.
Yep.
We show up number one on Google constantly for that.
for the wrong spelling
Exactly.
of Apprentice.
Yep. And with that being said, I wanted to bring this video to an end. Thank you all so much for joining us today for Speakeasy Live. Of course, Apprentice, thank you so much for coming in and sharing
Thank you.
what
Awesome,
you
thank
do. We love what you guys are doing, honestly. And for everyone out there, thank you again. You can reach out to us at Speakeasy Indy on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, click that follow button on our Facebook page so you can get announcements for any time we go live. But thank you again. My name's Travis. See you later.